DOE sought in outside evaluators. It compared my credentials as a historian, then chair of Southern Methodist University's History Department with extensive publications and a long teaching career, to Keogh's, whom the board deemed more appropriate. I was just one of the many academics rejected in favor of reviewers who would more reliably ensure that the textbooks presented the right historical narrative. Nonetheless, I read some textbooks to see how publishers had implemented the standards I found most peculiar. To my relief, they had clearly been flummoxed by the stipulation to include Thomas Aquinas and John Calvin. They merely inserted their names into lists of religious thinkers. I was, however, disconcerted by the frequent mentions of Moses. Textbooks eagerly espoused him as fundamental to morals, laws, and documents crucial to the American founding. I was not then aware just how crucial Moses and Mosaic law are to the claim that America was founded as a Christian nation. That was just one of my discoveries as I tried to understand these highly unorthodox views. As these teaks were directed toward an explicit rewriting of history, I wondered about sources for their views and, more generally, what the history they promoted was intended to convey. In exploring the sources of these ideas, I became especially intrigued by the three most prominent Christian curricula, published by Abeka Books, Bob Jones University Press, and Accelerated Christian Education, which are the central focus of this book. These are all long-standing conservative Christian publishers whose wares served the private schools that proliferated after desegregation, but are now used by homeschoolers and in charter schools and private schools with publicly funded vouchers. Initially, I wanted to see if these curricula gave clues to the teaks. They proved to be an especially useful source for understanding them. I focused on world histories for high school students, typically grade 10 or 11, because the textbooks offered the most expansive historical overview, both chronologically and geographically, with extensive global implications. I found that these curricula articulated an idiosyncratic but generally consistent narrative fundamentally at odds with that of the historical profession. As I explored them, I found their account ever more disquieting, but also recognized how loudly it resonates in the public sphere, spread by an extensive array of conservative Christian media. My efforts to understand and contextualize these Christian textbooks directed me beyond world history to American religious and political history. These curricula not only read human history as a gloss on the Bible, but also impose their understanding of American history, first on European history and then on the globe. They use world history to take positions in crucial debates about America, its founding, national character, and presumed purpose. These textbooks thus offer an entree into America's sense of itself, its past, and its place in the world. They allow readers to revisit intense debates about education and raise questions about religion and its role in American political culture. My exploration of the origins of ideas shaping these curricula led me into the history of the political and Christian right in America. I have engaged seriously with these curricula to make my fellow historians and educators, the parents of children using these materials, and Americans concerned about the education of future citizens more aware of the powerful but historically questionable narrative they advance and the dangers it poses to a democratic society. Introduction. Why this book? This book is motivated by a profound sense that history matters. As Arthur Schlesinger Jr. put it, history is to the nation as memory is to the individual. As a person deprived of memory becomes disoriented and lost, not knowing where he has been or where he is going, so a nation denied a conception of its past will be